It's time to embrace now. Welcome to the Hopefulist with me, Wendy McClure. This is where we turn those nasty, negative thoughts into positive and work toward a happy, fulfilled life. Now, let's get started. Hello and welcome to a brand new month. Oh my goodness, it is November 1st. How has it gone so fast? The good news is Halloween was last night, and after the bulk of the pandemic, kids were out trick-or-treating again. I didn't get many kids. I got one group of 3 young ladies who were lovely, and I was happy to have gotten them because they were the only people that stopped by. But I've been so enjoying all of the pictures on Facebook. Everybody just really does it up for Halloween, right? It's kind of crazy. Like, I think back to when I was a kid and we would get our costume from Woolworths in a box. It was basically just a plastic cape and a mask that you could barely breathe in. And, now these costumes are so elaborate. They're a lot more money than the ones that my mother bought, I'm sure. But yeah, it's kind of cool. I really did enjoy sitting on the couch this morning, scrolling through all the pictures. And, these families do these themes where they all dress up as the same or this, the same theme. It's awesome. I love it. And I used to be kind of anti-costume. I won't say anti-Halloween, but anti-costume, where I hated going to Halloween parties where they required a costume, mostly because I was cheap and I didn't want to put out the money for it. But, sometimes it's just worth it. It really is. We were invited to an 80s theme party this year. So, of course, 80s, that's my decade. And I was one of those huge Madonna wannabes. I mean, she was my hero in the 80s. Not so much anymore, but back in the 80s, she was my hero, and I dressed like her, and I had all the black rubber bracelets, and I had the bows in my hair, and, I just did it all up. I used to wear, like, a couple of different earrings in the same hole. Like, I just went crazy with the whole thing, because back then, I still wasn't allowed to have more than one ear piercing. So I used to just put like 3 earrings in the one hole so that I could, look like Madonna. So anyway, when I found out about this party, I'm like, oh, well, of course I'm going to be Madonna. So I ordered some things that would help with my outfit, and my husband and I talked about what he would be. And we decided on Jeff Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, of course, played by Sean Penn, who was married to Madonna. So it was kind of a couple costume. Not really, but, close enough. And it was so fun. I mean, I had so much fun dressing up. Back in the day, I don't know if you were a Madonna fan like I am. You remember, the first big movie she was in, Desperately Seeking Susan. And she had to buy these sequin boots in this movie. It was all part of the movie. And they put those boots on sale. And I remember back then they were like $50, which is like, $300 to me now. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't afford that. But I went and I got them anyway, saved up my money, I went and got them. I saved those boots for so long. And I finally tossed them. And of course, now would have been the perfect time to wear those boots, because that's the one thing that I haven't grown out of is my shoes. So when we were heading to the party, it was in Pennsylvania, so we were going over to spend the night at my cousin's house, and I stopped at DSW to buy a pair of combat boots, because I had said to my husband, combat boots are back in style. And I loved combat boots. Like, remember the 90s when the baby doll dresses and the combat boots were the style? That was like my favorite. I just loved that look. I thought it was so adorable. So I was like, I'm dying to get some combat boots, so I'm going to stop at DSW because we don't really have one near us. And so I'll have my combat boots, and it will really just top off my outfit. So I stop at DSW, and not only do I find combat boots, but I find glitter combat boots. Oh, that's right. Almost exactly. Well, not really, but very close to what the original Madonna boot looked like. So, and it's funny because, the price of those boots were $100, and I didn't even blink at that. I'm like, $100? There you go. Where, 25 years ago, I was like, $50? Oh my gosh, I got to save for months. Yeah, we all have come a long way, hopefully, when it comes to the finance department. I've also learned, though, that some things are just worth it. I wore them to breakfast yesterday, too, because I don't get out a whole lot. And I want to make sure that I wear these boots. They're little J-Lo boots, by the way. J-Lo's got a whole line of boots out. And there's just a ton of combat boots. And I love them. I just love these boots. I'm going to wear them every chance that I get. I was wondering, maybe I could wear them to pickleball and then change into my sneakers once I get there. Probably won't go that far, but it can be really fun. The other thing that we did is, as I mentioned, we were staying at my cousin's house since we had a party in that area. And he wasn't home when we got there because we'd come, we bring the dog, we drop the dog off, and we decided to toilet paper his house, the inside of the house. I wanted to do the outside, and my husband's like, no, let's just do the inside. I'm like, all right. So we used like half a roll of toilet paper, TP'd all inside the house, put it, over lamps and over the TV and picture frames, and I just like balled up toilet paper and stuffed it into, little wreaths that he had hanging in the house. And then I left the half-used toilet paper roll next to the dog's crate, trying to insinuate that it was the dog that did it. Now, this is kind of the difference between me now and the me of 5-10 years ago. I would have never done something like this because it would have seemed silly, But I have learned that embracing silliness is really what makes life so much more fun. So when we got back to the house, before we got back to the house, I had seen he had posted a video of our handiwork on Facebook. And he's like, my mischief people got me good this year. He's like, do you think it was my overnight guests or the dog? And Joe's like, oh, do you think he's mad? I'm like, if he was mad, he wouldn't have put it on Facebook. I was like, and then he was thrilled. He's like, oh my gosh, it was so fun. And we didn't realize this till later, he then TP'd the room that we stay in. We walked up and he had strung TP all around the fan in the bedroom. He had put it all under the covers. And yeah, it was fun. It's fun. Silly? Yes. Fun? Absolutely. So some of the things that have changed from my pessimistic days to now my hopefulist ways, just embrace the fun, embrace the silliness, just, laugh. Life's too short. Just every opportunity you have to laugh, take it. Take it. Stop taking yourself so seriously. Speaking of which, if you are interested in more happiness in your life, I can help. I can help you change from that pessimist I was just talking about myself and becoming a much more happier, healthier, more fulfilled person. I've been through it, and I know how to go about transforming those negative thoughts into positive. So, set up a free call with me. Shoot me an email. Let me know you're interested in having a free discovery call to see if we are a good fit for each other. And we'll go from there. And you'll have the best holiday season you will have ever had. So here we go. Here is the topic for today. Embrace now. If you are anything like me, you are bemoaning the fact that the weather, getting colder. And the days are getting shorter. I think the time change is next weekend. I'm such a summer girl. When autumn gets to the point where it seems like winter is right around the corner, the depression can set in. I start to long for summer and warm temperatures. But the thing is, that's not going to happen for like a good 6 months. And no amount of depression is going to change that. So what do? Do I just settle in for a half a year of nothing to look forward to? Of just enduring every day, hoping for those rare ones that give a little extra warmth and sunshine? No, that's not what I do. The answer is to embrace what is happening right now. This has been a tough one for me because I am a summer girl and I don't mind autumn and fall. I love the changing leaves and all, but it's just what happens after, you know? So I was sitting on my porch the other night as a storm was revving up and I could hear all the leaves on the ground blowing all over. It was like that light dark that happens when storm clouds come in. It's pretty cool. And I don't mind a good storm when I feel safe. And I have realized how cool and fun they can be. I used to really hate storms. I was afraid when they came in. But now I embrace them. And I just either sit right outside of my porch or from the safe haven of my home. Now, I still hate the wind. It's a whole different topic. We had 60-mile-per-hour winds last week. Oh, it's so fun. But anyway, I was listening to the leaves blowing and feeling like, just this is how things are supposed to be right now. And I just was okay with it. Rather than when I would normally complain about the cold and all the leaves falling, thinking I won't have any fun until spring. November is kind of a transitional time, right? The really warm weather is behind us and the leaves are starting to drop off so we don't see all those beautiful colors anymore. But it isn't terribly cold yet, and we can still go outside. Bundle up, take a nice walk in some scenic area, hit the park, head to the beach, take the dog. Even though it isn't as nice as we wish it were, there's still a lot to do and see. We're coming down towards the end of this now, but there's pumpkin and apple picking, apple cider, hay rides, corn mazes, haunted houses. When we accept things for what they are instead of what we want them to be, we will be much happier. Plus, we have so much to look forward to in the coming 2 months. Once Halloween is over, which it is, I start itching to put that Christmas tree up. Yep. I want to do it. I don't normally do it this early, but in the past couple of years, I have decorated the tree and around the house about 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. Why? Because it makes me happy. And to be honest with you, I saw a Christmas tree already up in someone's houses when we were driving to Pennsylvania on Saturday evening. It was just starting to get a little bit dark out, and I went past a house, and I saw it through their window. I was like, see? It's not just me. They're even earlier than I am. But I love everything about my tree. I love it all lit up. I leave it on all night long, so it is the first thing I see as I walk down the hallway in the morning. Last year, I even watched some videos on how to up my tree decorating game, and my neighbor told me it looked like it belonged in Macy's. Oh my gosh, that is about the best thing you could ever say to me. I am proud of my tree and decorations, and I'm going to spend as much time looking at them as possible. I choose to put it up early, so I do typically, take it down by the first week in January, because then I'm like, okay, it's over, everything's done, let's get the house back to normal. I know, I skipped Thanksgiving, right? No, I didn't skip Thanksgiving. This is my cousin's favorite holiday because he says there is no pressure to buy gifts and spend a whole lot of money. It's all about the food and the family, which is a great way of looking at it. But if you want to have your Thanksgiving dinner next to your Christmas tree, that is just fine. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I've had people tell me, you skip right over Thanksgiving. That's not true at all. I'm all for Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. I will just eat it surrounded by decorations of red and green. Or red and silver, which is usually my color scheme. And then it's off to the races for Christmas shopping. I love buying gifts for people when I see something that's just perfect for them, which, doesn't happen a lot. It happens more now that I've gotten older and I've kind of just learned when I see something for somebody that reminds me of someone to just get it. What I don't like is roaming around a store just hoping to find something for someone when I have no idea what they really want. My husband always says he's easy to buy for. Nope, totally disagree. I always end up getting him the same things every year. Gourmet coffee, socks, graphic t-shirts. It's all the same. So I really try to get him some unexpected things every year. And that's when I do the wandering around. Wandering. I don't know. Wish me luck this year, people. We spent Christmas morning with my cousin and his daughter, so I get lots of gifts for him as well. Another one that I randomly walk around stores going, what would he like? What would he like? What would he like? It's a tradition we started a few years back to spend Christmas morning with the two of them. Since my husband and I don't have kids and we want to be closer to family, it has really worked out great. My cousin buys us a ton of gifts every year, and I often feel like Santa is visiting my life once again. It's a lot of fun. As much as I love giving the perfect gift, I'm pretty happy to get something terrific too. Now, we have all of this to look forward to. Don't you think there's just something more in the air around the holiday season? Just seems like people are more jolly. People are kinder and go out of their way a little bit more. It's a great time to pay things forward. Give a little extra to the server while eating out. Tip the gas station attendant if you have one. Pay for someone's coffee behind you. Compliment people on their festive outfits. Hey, wear festive outfits. Bring your best dish to the holiday party. Do things that bring you joy. Do things that make you proud. So we have all of this to look forward to, and this is what I choose to focus on instead of being down and depressed about the summer weather being over. Everything in its own sweet time. Meanwhile, I will be wearing my favorite cozy sweater with a big mug of hot chocolate. There might be a little peppermint bark, flavoring in there. And I'm going to be planted right in front of the fire pit. So I hope you are finding some favorite things to do as well. If you like this episode, please leave me a review. Share it with a friend. I would be most grateful. Or if you or someone you know may benefit from the personal positivity training I mentioned earlier to get happy for good. That's right, get happy for good. Shoot me a message. We will set up that free call to see if working together would be helpful for you. Now, go have a great week. Be badass, of course. You know I'm always here cheering you on. Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist. Now, don't you feel good? Make sure you come back next week. See you then.